So our Swami Vishnu-devananda, he's a peace missionary. So very often time he go to places that are very dangerous. You know, he's famous by flying his airplane, his small airplane. He can be shot anytime. Over places where people are fighting, and he dropped flowers and leaflets. He said, you know, he's the barrier-breaking mission. Yeah? He do like this physically by flying over places where people are fighting, but really he said it's a mental breaking. I'm going to go on a mental breaking barrier, breaking boundary, you know, breaking mission. So what he's saying is it's always the mental barrier first, the idea of separation between this group and that group, this nation and that nation first, and then after comes the wall. Yeah? So when you want to separate between countries, what you do? Borders and boundaries, and then wall. If somebody passes the borders, and you shoot them like that. So it starts first with the mind, idea that I'm separating from this group or that person. I'm different from them. So he's very much doing that as his, you know, full-time occupation. And then he also go to places that are very hot when people are really in conflict with each other, and try to be the peace missionary, the peace, the one that brings. I remember the story that he went to the Golden Temple. At that time, there was a big conflict between the Sikhs and the Hindu. Yeah? And so he went there, and you know, he's a Hindu Swami, you know. So it's very brave to go in the middle of a conflict there. So he wear his turban, you know, because, you know, in the Sikh temple you have to wear the turban. So he wear his turban, and he go with 2-3 of his disciples, and he come in the middle, and he's able to talk to the leaders of the Sikh. And he said everything around him, everyone is armed to the teeth. Big army, because they are, you know, it's a very dangerous situation. And he tried to talk to them, and about what is the problem, and what he can bring as a message to the government of, you know, at that time. And so he said he was the last person actually that went in there, because when he left, he didn't have a chance even to bring the message to the government. Then the government, you know, bring in the army and shoot. So these people that he met, and the leaders, were killed. So he told many stories like that, or stories that he went to into you know, Israel and Palestine conflict. He went there. And he always do something reverse. Let's say in the Berlin Wall, then there was the you know, there was the wall, and then people that try to go from east to west, yeah, to escape. Yeah. What he did when he flew, he go from west to east. It's always go somehow reverse. With the, you know, go basically to break the idea. And when he flew over the wall, it's not like the wall came down or something, but after he flew over the wall did come down. A few years after, the wall came down without bloodshed. So, you know, he said that he didn't say it per se, but we think that he's by doing that, and it's you know, it's covered by the press, because you know, he makes sure that people know that he would do that. And then all the allies at that time, is very dangerous, Berlin, and he do press release before and tell people that he would do that. Then you know, and he received message that, you know, you cannot do that. Anybody that go into Berlin at that time, sneak any kind of airplane go to Berlin at that time, that would be, you know, they would they have a life sentence. You know, it's not something easy. It's the middle of the Cold War. So he did. He not only sneaking in there one airplane, but he sneaked two, in case something happened to the other one. And who was the one that helped him? Us. I mean, you and me. We have no knowledge of anything. We just have faith that Swamiji did something correct. Actually, we try hard. We try very much to go and talk to him. Swamiji, this is very dangerous. You shouldn't do that. Because, we don't want to lose our guru, We try very hard to talk him out of that, but there's no way. He said, I receive orders from above. And so he has to do that. And there is no money. I mean, the organization teach yoga and gain some money from donation and so on. But he never really keep any much money, because any money then he invests into peace missions, And I remember I was an accountant at that time in the ashram in Canada. I pull my hair out, I suffer so much, I cry sometimes, I get into some kind of big crisis. Swamiji, we cannot pay our bills. And he spent a lot of money, take care of airplane or buying airplane. Like this, and we have no idea, we just want to pay the bills for the ashram, And he spent money for something that's for us, it's like crazy or vague. Why he would do something like this. And I remember that before that Berlin Wall, happened, then he didn't have money, actually, to make all this happen, because it's a peace festival at the same time, the airplane, but also the peace festival, and he organized at the foot of the wall there. So not enough money. And I remember a phone call like this, there's no money. And then, but he still keep going. I believe that it's about, a few weeks before the wall happened, the flight happened, and he didn't have money a few weeks before. And we didn't know what to do. Then a phone call came. And then somebody decided to sell their business and give all the money to him. So he got the money. It's like God sent. And he did all this. So not only risking his own life, because if you fly over the Berlin Wall with ultralight aircraft, you sit on that little chair there is no cockpit, or no anything, and anybody can just shoot you. And at that time, anybody that crossed that Berlin Wall will be shot down. Like a point. He said that. Before people ask him, you do all this, what you think it will change anything? So he said, so many people die under the name of war. One person die under the name of peace, doesn't matter. And if I die, then you follow me anyway. He said that this is a very dangerous situation. You remember at that time, Cold War, the world is divided into these two groups. And so he did this, and I believe masterfully, everything is just perfect because it's a divine will. Everything just perfect. He told us, at 3 o'clock, then we'll start the peace procession. And we saw him left in the morning at 6, in the fog, and fly out, and we have no idea. At that time I was there, and I could not stop laughing. I don't know why. It's like there's this nervosity to feel that my God, he's up there and he's gone, and we have no idea he will come back alive or not. So I just laughed for hours. I don't know, just laugh. A very strange psychological reaction. And then he come back and he walk in. I remember I was in a parking lot like this, and we have a tent. It's like a temple. It was a circus, and somehow we switch it into a temple in a moment. And very, very marvelous how they can do it. And they switch a circus energy into a temple, high energy. And then we have to. And I was there in the parking lot, hanging out there, waiting. We have no idea what happened. And Swamiji said, at 3 o'clock we start the procession. As if he just went to the market or something and come back. I said, at 3 o'clock. And then around 3 o'clock, he walked in. And almost nobody said anything. And he walked into that place, everyone was there. A complete silence. Nobody could say anything. It's quite something. And then we went on that fire walk ceremony. He made fire walking like this, big long fire walk, for the same purpose. And the kavadi ceremony, people that pierce their body and there's no blood and things like that. Why he does something like this? Sometimes, most of the time, what he does, we don't understand. We just follow out of faith, and sometimes we go into crisis and we're crazy, we pull our hair, but we try, So I oftentimes say, I give him the benefit of the doubt. Because most of the time I don't understand what he's doing. Because we said that our mind is a certain level, and we have faith, but we don't understand what the great person is doing. So we function out of faith. And but he does all this to show to our rational, intellectual, rational, materialistic mind there is a higher reality that we cannot comprehend. You see, how can a group of people, about 40 people, that are not necessarily yogis or something, they are yogis and so on, but also there are people that are just there, they were just there, they're not yogis. And then they put a little turmeric band over the turmeric band over your wrist, and you walk over a hot charcoal, from here to there. How can you do that? Turmeric, in which way a turmeric band will help you to walk over hot charcoal? Can you tell me? Yeah? And it happened, you see? So that's what he demonstrated, and I remember that all the time, because I did walk. And then in the middle of the way, I was walking, and there was a traffic jam. I still remember, because, they burn hot, big log of wood, and then they break it into pieces, hot charcoal. So normally if you walk on this thing, it's already very uncomfortable for your feet, is it not? Even walking on this cold charcoal, and here is hot charcoal, so it's tough. And there's many people, and you want to just run across, But they walk, and some people are very slow, they walk, and then in front of you there's people, they are slow, so you are kind of slow behind. And I walk about 3-4 steps or something in the middle, and there was a question in my mind. The question came and said, is it supposed to be hot or not hot? When the question came, then it's very hot. I felt it very hot. I remember your mind said, this is called hot. There's a feeling immediately that your mind recognizes it as it's called heat. But not really, you see? Because if you feel really very hot, you will have blister. Immediately, it's fast. Yeah? So it's some kind of familiar kind of remembrance that this is hot. Yeah? And then something in the mind switch it off. Very quickly, everything happens very quickly, and then you can walk. And you're not having any blister or anything. You see? So how do you explain all this? And then this man, these people that he brought from Malaysia, they call Kavadi ceremony from Malaysia. You know what they did? They put this, it's very terrible to see. They put this metal thing over their cheek from here to here, coming out. Over their tongue, here to here. Over their body, a big chunk of body, cross like this. And there's no blood, anything like this. And the man is like a porcupine. And then we went on a procession, and he's dancing, he's in a kind of trance, He's dancing, and I just make sure that I walk very close to him so I can sing very loud, so in case he come down of his trance. I remember. Because he's in the trance. I'm afraid he'll come down with his trance because he will feel bad, All this thing around his body, So, but he go like this for an hour. we went on a procession in Berlin because Swamiji said so many people suffer here, so many people has died here in Berlin, and so many people have suffered. So we have to go and chant and chant and chant and send out good vibration, and also a lot of ghosts in Berlin at that time because so many years, there is people dying and suffering. So anyway, when we come back, they remove this thing out of this man. They put there's no blood, and they put a little ash, this vibhuti ash over the wound, and then nothing happened. And then the story was, I got excited telling the story. The story was, and then we had to go on a fire walk, and this man, that is the Kavadi man, has hole all over his body that is pierced. He walked over, he danced over the charcoal. He was the first going. He danced over, and he go around, and he go on the line again to go across again the second time. And he came out, and then soon after that, a bee stung him. A bee stung him. And he suffered, and he suffered. And he go and he cry and he suffered. This man that was pierced all over, and the bee stung him and he suffered. So his friends told the story, his friends in his group said that because of his egoism. You see, he was punished because of his egoism. That means he's not supposed to go the second time. He's supposed to go the first time, but he want to show off or who knows what. He went the second time, and then the bee stung him, and then he felt the pain. So anyway, he did all this to show us there is a mystery. Mystery about our mind, what our mind can do. Yeah? Our mind can bring us pain. Like I said, that familiar pain, when we call it hot, heat, it comes very quickly, but you recognize it, but actually you are not. Because you're not there. So there's so many different layers of the mind that you can go, and how you can go also to the level where you transcend body sensation, you transcend your own body, you transcend your normal kind of feeling. So this can happen. So in the spiritual life, and in devotion, there's so many different levels. So when Advaita Das tell all the stories, you have to think about this, and see that she said all the time, take it or leave it. I like this. Take it or leave it. That means you hear the story, you have to kind of think about it, and you have to kind of see if you can apply, how it makes sense or not make sense. And it says that it will sit in your mind, and sometimes certain thoughts really bother you, So then, because it doesn't fit to your kind of thinking, and you have to think about it, and then you have to kind of develop what we call tolerance. That is the path of many, but God is one. The truth is one, but the path of many, and like that, so that you yourself eventually you would be more strengthened in your own kind of path. So that's the mind, and the devotion, the love, and he talk about, love again and again. Love is, he said like this: live in love, and breathe in love, and drink in love, and sing in love, and eat in love, and drink, and talk in love, and pray in love, meditate in love, and think in love, and move in love, and die in love. And he said all this. So how do you do that? How do you do like that? Live in love, and breathe in love, and drink in love, and think in love, and move in love, and die in love. That means you have to become an embodiment of love, basically. Love has to be your main kind of vibration. Love has to be your main kind of food, your main kind of vibration or radiation. And then at that time, whatever you do, you will be love. See? So you cannot apply, like sometimes we try to apply, in the beginning we have to do that. We have to apply recipe. You see? When you don't know something, you have to apply recipe. People give you a recipe, you say, okay, apply. But when you apply a recipe, all the time everything falls apart. Is it not? It's not really, it doesn't work. It doesn't. And you say, oh, how can he or she does the same thing and give me the recipe, but when I do it, it doesn't work. Yeah? Because there's something missing. Yeah? The ingredient missing. There is something missing. Something you did not get it. You can apply the recipe, but you did not get it. So it takes some time for us to learn all these things. First, intellectually, you have to think about this, and then you have to apply in a very simple manner, you know, in daily life, how you're going to do. So what is our homework today? Well, we have lecture on forgiveness, but what's our homework I gave you?
To notice the suffering.
Yeah, to notice the suffering of somebody. Okay? It can be to anybody. And try to do something about it. So that's your homework today. Okay? You'll be very busy. Okay, Hai Om Tat Sat.